All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Sarah. We'll have a special 1-hour news live from Canberra. Back to the Daily Edition.
Thank you so much for that. Well, it's a scary statistic to hear. Between 70 and 90% of teens have sex by the age of 18. But Sean Lowe from American reality series The Bachelor is the latest in a growing list of stars who've taken a vow of abstinence before saying I do.
America's Got Talent host Nick Cannon kept it PG with his bride-to-be Mariah Carey before their 2008 wedding. The eldest Jonas brother, Kevin, he wore a punk rock purity ring before tying the knot with his girlfriend.
And her sex appeal might have made millions for Victoria's Secret, but in 2006, Adriana Lima told a magazine sex is for after marriage. The model wed NBA player Marco Jarek just 3 years later.
That's right. So, should you wait for your wedding night to do the deed? Joining us now is relationship psychologist Claire Mann and one of our very own here, morning show producer Miriam Arian. Hello. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, Miriam, let's start with you. You've decided to wait until you're married. You've described yourself as a bit of a look, don't touch. Tell me why and how does it go down?
Yeah, okay, so look but don't touch is just kind of a better phrase than saying look but don't penetrate. We can touch, but limitedly. The whole thinking behind it is I just want to know my husband really well before he is my husband. Yep. And kind of have a very open, loving relationship. I think sex is really important in a relationship, but I just want to build a strong foundation for mine before I give that away to someone who's only passing through.
Yeah. What do you think about the argument, though, that you can't truly know, your future husband until you include sex into that?
I would say we live in an age that's very liberal, and being liberal means having choices. So while that is the opinion of some people, my opinion is that it's my choice, and so that's something that needs to be celebrated and respected on, across all, like, women's...
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, though, how do you broach it? Do you say it up front? Do you kind of wait until you're in the heat of the moment and then you've got you have to say it? Or when do you say it? When is the right time to say it? I don't know. Like,
it's a hard one. It is, yeah. I'm always really upfront about this just because by doing that, I kind of rule out any heartbreak. You don't have any emotional attachment if I've been seeing a guy for 2 months and he's like, yes, this is the night, and I'm like, no, it's not. So yeah, it just helps to kind of say it at the start, within the first week or so of seeing someone and saying, this is me, take it or leave it, and if they leave it, it just means they're not the one.
Yeah. Claire, I'm sure we would all celebrate Miriam's decision because it is her own. What are some of the negatives of waiting?
Sure. Well, I think in principle, I mean, the problem is there's so much expectation, of course, if there's a sort of waiting, particularly when a couple have been together for a long time and they're sort of obviously attracted to each other. There's enormous expectation, firstly, in terms of the satisfaction of the sex, possibly, but also the satisfaction of the relationship. But so much depends, of course, on the quality of their communication and have they been sharing a lot about their values, which, of course, they may be if, of course, they've been talking about not having sex. What is important to us? And as Miriam so well put it, it's all about choice, and they're talking about standing up and having their voice heard.
Do you think can it make it more meaningful? I mean, if you've decided to wait and you're both in agreement, then you're probably committed to the greater good of the relationship. Does it make it stronger, better?
Well, I think we're all looking for the answer. What is the golden thing that will say a relationship will work? So we're then looking at the statistics, of course. In the US, that's where a lot of research is done, and unfortunately, there's often a religious overlay to this, which sort of confounds the results, because it's not just religious reasons people abstain. It can be cultural reasons as well. We also know that men abstain as much as women. Not as much, actually. It's about 60-40 in favour of women. But, of course, in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, we had more abstinence. But the situation was there, of course, is women didn't have control of their fertility. Yeah. So there may be other variables where they were abstaining.
So now, are we seeing it going up, or has it stagnated, going down? What, is that a growing trend?
It's not right quite to say there's actually a growing trend or anything. There's slightly in the old, it's abstinence in terms of waiting longer. a lot of young people having sex in the sort of 12, 13 age group. The age has actually certainly become younger.
Wow.
But I think a lot of people say they do a lot of things as well. I mean, this is all observed. It's not observed, it's reported. So, you know, unless you're standing and watching.
Unless you're there. I don't know what you like to do in your spare time, but that's really inappropriate.
We'll take their word for it, but it's whether we can take their word for it, right?
Absolutely, that's right.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much, Claire and Miriam. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's
Thanks
really
for having me.
special. Thank you. Fantastic. All right. Still to come, world-renowned body expert Alan